Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and everything in between. Today on What's on the Playlist Today, I want to talk about the Dead Milkmen and their debut album, Big Lizard in My Backyard, which an image of which you will see right here. Is that, man, you can barely see that, can you? That's a really crappy image, but it's the best one I could find. My only option is just hold this here, or to learn how to edit, which that's not going to happen. Dead Milkmen is a small, I guess at the time, indie punk rock band that was formed in the early 80s. They were really only around for a little while, although in spite of the fact they put out an album, at least an album a year or more than one album a year for their entire active career in the late 80s, early 90s. They were from Philadelphia. The frontman basically invented a fake band in high school with a friend of his and called them the Dead Milkmen. And then when, later met the other guys in the band and actually formed the band. They're pretty much a punk rock band, but they also never took themselves very seriously. None of these songs are serious. They're just a bunch of goofballs who got access to a recording studio. I mean, initially they were just, they made some recording tapes. They finally pressed an album. Dropping stuff. I made Dead Big Lizard in My Backyard, which was pretty well received, for a debut album with 21 songs on it. The average song length is less than 13 of these songs are less than 2 minutes long. They're just short, punky, just sarcastic and not really serious. I mean, their big hit from this album, there were no singles from this album. But their big song, aside from the title song, Big Lizard in My Backyard, their biggest song is Bitchin' Camaro. That is their big hit from this record. And it is 2 minutes and 58 seconds long. It is the second longest song on the album. Like I said, over half the songs are less than 2 minutes long. You've got Gorilla Girl, Tiny Town, Fillet of Soul, Right Wing Pigeons. This is just a couple this is like 3 or 4 guys in a garage doing goofy stuff who managed to get a record contract. Not because they're untalented, they really are. For all this quirky, short, peppy stuff, their lyrics are actually pretty tight and moderately clever. But it's kind of stuff you hear some clever 15-year-olds say. There's not a lot of intellectual sophistication here. It's just guys having a good time. I was actually introduced to this album by a roommate. I can't remember which one it was. Graduate high school, moved to the big city of Portland, Maine. Big city. Some guys I knew from high school. And one of them introduced me to this. I think it might have been Paul, who I haven't talked to in since we moved out. But yeah, one of the, man, one of those high school relationships that just kind of fell away and you forgot about until I started talking about it, oddly enough. I don't know who I would recommend this for. I don't know how well punk rock music is received these days. I don't hear it very much. I don't hear this style of music very much. But I also don't get out of the house and listen to stuff either. I admit I'm an isolated old man stuck in the past for a lot of stuff. This was just a fun little addition to my late teens, early 20s. This is one of the oldest CDs I have, actually. I bought it when it was when was this released? 1985. Yeah, I think I bought this in 86. Damn, that's old. I've had the CD longer than I've known my wife. And we've been together over 30 years. So yeah, this is a piece of history right here. Plastic is all faded and yellowed. stained in places from having spilled stuff on it. I've had this sucker a long time. I'd give it a listen. The songs are short, so it won't take you long to get through. You know, pick Bitch and Camaro, pick Big Lizard in My Backyard. Those are some fun songs, hands down. This is why it's, you know, why this album became popular, was those two, on the strength of those two songs. And the other ones are still, you know, semi-fun. I still find myself playing this, even though I've moved past my punk rock and heavy metal days. This is one of the few I can still like plunk in and enjoy, because it's just so silly. I wouldn't even call it comedy music. It's just, I mean, they're kind of listed as that if you go online and look at their Wikipedia page. It will say like indie punk rock and comedy. So I guess maybe some people consider them in that category. But they never felt like a comedy band to me. They're just guys having fun. And I'm always there for that. There's a lot of bands that don't fit in my usual genre that I love specifically for their attitude. You know, it's like, no, we don't take ourselves that seriously. We're just going to have fun and play. There's 2 or 3 bands I have in my collection that definitely fit that mold. Out of my usual comfort zone, but love their attitude. Give it a listen. It's, for a debut album, it's a solid piece of material. You know, it definitely shows their lack of polish that, you know, they get in later albums, but for a debut, for, you know, their debut release, it's a solid. Give it a whirl. It won't take long. As always, thanks for watching. If you've made it this far, I guess I gotta plug something. People keep telling me to grow my channel, so torture yourself with my other crap. And until next time, good hunting.